Hey everyone, my name is Ronak back with another video, and in this video you are going to learn the web scraping with the help of an exciting project. So in past I have made one single small beautiful soup video in which I have actually shown you how you can do the web scraping using the Python. But that video I would say is very small, and there were many aspects that I would say failed to cover. So today we are actually going to learn how we can do the web scraping. All right, so let us get started. So in order to do that, the most common form of example in the scraping is the IMDb dataset. So we are going to scrape a list of top 250 movies in the world on the IMDb site. I'll show you. So IMDb is actually an online database of information of all the films where you can get ratings, reviews, and a lot of things. So this website is very much popular. You can check all of the movies. So the way we are going to proceed with this is we are going to work with this thing. All right. So whenever you select IMDb on the Google, you have to go to top rated movies. And in the top rated movies, you are going to have a list of top 250 movies in the world which are rated from the highest to the lowest. And we are going to use this to scrape the data. So what we are going to do is we will actually scrape this entire list, take out each and every single movie. Apart from that, I'm also going to scrape the data from the movie. So the way the thing works, we are going to use the Python. We are going to leverage a library known as Beautiful Soup, which is used for web scraping. Okay, so in the first place, what is scraping? So scraping is something where you can actually extract the data from the web pages. All right, so you need to have a little bit of grasp over the HTML and CSS for this tutorial, and a little bit of understanding of Python. Okay, so the basics of the Python are very much essential, I would say. If you don't know, you can find the links in the description box below. I have the tutorials, you can go and check over there. Coming to the topic, so we are going to scrape the movie and we are going to actually make a data set of our own. So coming back to the VS Code, so the library that you are going to require is known as Beautiful Soup. All right, so please say pip install bs4. Okay, so that is the name of the library. For me, it says requirement already satisfied because I've already installed the thing. If you haven't, please do it. Now the first thing is importing. So I'll just increase the font size. And here I'll say import bs4. And one more thing that we are going to require is import urllib.request. Okay, so these two things are completely essential in order to get started with the project. Another thing that we have to focus on particularly is creating the gateway in order to get started. So we have to feed the links of the IMDb movies. All right, so we are going to feed this chart, but right before that, let me just scrape a single movie. All right, so in order to do that, we will actually get started with this one itself. So there are two things required when it comes to Beautiful Soup. So one is known as sauce. So this sauce is the thing where you have the links. All right, so I'll say urllib.request.url open. In this, you are going to feed your URL .read. All right, this is the thing with which you can get the sauce. So basically, sauce is the basis of your soup. All right, and this Beautiful Soup is something that will help you extract each and every single feature. So it is the entire picture. So this is the naming convention that they particularly use when it comes to the Beautiful Soup. So now here we are going to say soup is equal to bs4.beautifulsoup, and in this you are going to feed sauce. And later on you have to say features as so there are some markup things. Okay, so you can actually use html.parser or you can use lxml. So I am using lxml. So this is ready. So now when we actually feed the link in the URL open, we are going to get the data. So whenever I go over here in the URL section, and if I get, let's say, read of this entire thing and I click, I get this. Okay, so I really want this number. So imdb.com/title/tt. All right, so this number is going to help me extract the movie. So in the URL open, I'm going to paste it. Okay, now the next thing is we are going to start our work by making a function. So I'll say movie information. That is the name of the function I'm just using, nothing else. And now I'm going to use that soup in order to extract the information from the link that we have. And the way we do it, so let us first start with taking the name of the movie. All right, so the way we are going to do it is by using the inspecting element, in which we are going to hover using the element. So in the Windows, type Ctrl Shift and C. And whenever you click, so you can actually hover over each and every single item in your web page, and this is going to be same for each and every single thing. Now whenever I click on the Shawshank Redemption, in my elements console, this highlights, which when I open, which is the h1 class, this says the Shawshank Redemption. Okay, so this is the way it works. So now the structure is always going to be the same, because the people who enter the data do it via a CMS, all right, a content management system. Only developers know the core structure of it. So the core structure is always going to be the same. So there will be repetitive steps, but with the different form of data. So what we are going to do is we are going to try to extract this title using this. But we cannot use the h1 class because it is a very generalized class. So we have to look for one class that is above it, which is this one. So div class title wrapper, from which we are going to extract the h1 class. So that is the thing we can do. You can use the class or ID in order to extract the data, because here it is only h1 class. You cannot do that in order to get this data. So you will have to focus on the title wrapper. So the way we do it, so what I'll do over here is I'll just copy this title wrapper, all right, and here I'll say movie title, or I can say title dot soup dot, all right, soup dot find. Okay, and I'll say div. So first you have to specify your tag, that is the name. So it is inside a div class. After that you have to say class. So it is inside a class, and later on the name of the class. So you have to enclose this within a form of dictionary. Okay, so this is the way you pass the attribute to the beautiful soup. And now when I say return title, okay, as simple as that. And now here I'll say title. So that is just a variable I'm giving. I'll say movie information. I'll call the function, and I'm going to print the title. All right, this is the way it works. And now I'm going to run this thing. I'll say py space basic.py, that is the name of my file. So this gives me a lot of gibberish, but I specifically want to extract only the Shawshank Redemption from it. So it is available to us in the h1 class. So what I'll do is I have the title. So now here I'll make a new variable which is known as movie name. Movie underscore name is equal to title dot find. So from the title, so this title is the variable that is holding my title wrapper, in which we have the h1, the span and the div and everything, but we only have the h1 over here. So I'll say h1, all right, and here I'll say text, and now instead of title I'll return movie name, and I don't have to change this one because this is the variable that I've created with the respect to the function. And now I'll just run this thing and I have it. Okay, so it gives me the Shawshank Redemption 1994. Now similarly, there is one more way with which you can do the scraping, which is known as going to the page source. So you can say Control U, and you can trace the meta tags. Okay, so type Control F, which is control find, and type meta. So you can come across the meta tags. These meta tags actually give you the data. All right, so whenever I can say, instead of meta, I can say OG title. All right, so this is the way it works. So there is a property tag which holds the OG title, under which the content is the Shawshank Redemption. So now I'm going to scrape using the meta tag. So what I'll do is I'll just get rid of this thing. Okay, not this thing particularly, but the thing that is inside this, and I'll extract using the meta tag. And later here I have to say the property which is equal to OG colon title. Now why I cannot use content? Because content can be same for many things, but this property is very unique. All right, and most of the websites use this structure with which you can scrape very easily. So here you can say OG title. Okay, so meta property OG title. Now you have to extract the content from it. So I'll say title content. All right, so this is the way you extract the content from it. So now I have the OG title which holds my title, from which I'm extracting the content, which is the Shawshank Redemption 1984. And now if I run this thing, I'll get the same thing. Okay, so I get a title. Similarly, I will also work on the images. So here I'll say again Control Shift C. I can click on the image, I can have it. Okay, inside the href tag I have this link. But instead, one more thing that I can do is through the OG images. So just like OG title, here I can say OG image and I'll have the link. All right, so the content holds the link. So similarly here I'll say image is equal to soup.find in which I'm going to say meta followed by property which is equal to OG image. Alright, and here I can say movie underscore image is equal to image which is followed by content. Alright, and now I can call the movie image, and here also I have to call one more variable, otherwise it will run out of the positional argument errors, and I'm going to print image. So this is going to be the link of the image, and I have it. Okay, whenever I click on the link, I'll get the image opened, and you can scrape many more things in this. So one more thing that I would like to take is the genre of the movie. There are many things, okay, there are no limitations, but I'll just show you some of the things. So I'll again type Ctrl+Shift+C, come to the drama over here, which is the genre of the movie, and this genre has a lot of things. So now inside this div class subtext, you have all of these things enclosed, okay, so where you have many hrefs and everything, but we want to particularly specify where we can get the drama, and the way we do it. So now here I'll say, so inside the genre I'm going to say soup.find, and inside the find I'm going to say div tag. So this is a div tag which has class subtext, so I'm going to use that. So the way I do it, I'll say div followed by class followed by subtext. That is the name of the class. Alright, but that is not sufficient, we have to dig more inside. So my href actually holds the drama. So the way I do it, I'll say movie genre is equal to genre dot find, and I'm going to take anchor tag dot text, and here I can say comma movie genre, and after that I'll have to specify the genre over here. So I can say genre. Alright, and I'll have to print the genre, so I'll say genre, and now I'm going to run this thing, and I have it. Okay, it gives me drama. Now the next thing that I want to scrape is, let's say there are actually many things involved. You can take, okay, so the last thing I'll be scraping is the director. The director name is quite important because director is responsible for the classic movies. So this is also enclosed inside a div class known as credit summary item, in which we have the href. So I'm going to follow the similar procedure. So here I'm going to say director is equal to soup dot find. In this I'm going to say div followed by class colon, I'm going to say credit summary item. Later on I am going to say movie director is equal to director dot find, in which I'm going to pass the anchor tag. So this anchor tag holds the name of the director. So I'll say A, and I'll follow by text, and now here I can say movie director, and now here I have to pass a positional argument which is going to be director, and later on I can print this thing in order to get the name of the director. Alright, and I'll say CLS, clear it, and we have it. Okay, it says Frank Darabont. And now if I change the link of the movie, now let me take the darknet. Alright, and inside the darknet I'm going to say, I'm going to copy this thing, that is the link, and I'm going to paste it over here, and I have it. Okay, so the name of the movie Dark Knight, I have the image, it says action is the genre and director is Christopher Nolan. So this works very well, but now we cannot go into each and every single movie, take the link and do it. Okay, we want something to do it for us. So what I'll do, I'll copy this thing and I'll post it over here. Okay, so I'm going to extract all of the links first. So I'll make a new function known as all links. So that will be an accumulation of, let's say, 250 links, which later on I'll be feeding it to the movie information so that dynamically we can extract the data from all of the links. So the way I do it, so we have to extract using the anchor tag. So if I say anchor tag, I'll get all of the links that I have over here. So the way I do it, I'll say for I in, all right, I can say soup dot find all, because I want all of the anchor tags, okay, not just the first one. Now there are many things, so what I can do is either I can append this thing or I can just add. Okay, so first of all, let me just take a variable. I'll say links is equal to I dot get, and here I'll say href. Okay, you can also say soup dot find and take the hrefs, not an issue, but this one just works fine for me. And here I'll say urls, and I'll say list. Okay, so I want it to be a list. And now I'll say urls is equal to not equal to, sorry, dot append, and here I'm going to feed links. Alright, so every time a new URL is going to come inside, it is going to work. And now I'll just print URL in order to check it. So I'll say urls, and I'll call the function. So I'll say all links. Alright, let me run this. Okay, I have all the links. But now specifically, I want to work on only the IMDb title links. Okay, so these are extracted using title and TT. So the way we do it, since we I'll just get rid of this, and here I'll say URLs, and now I'll actually make a list comprehension. So this list comprehension helps us to extract using some commands inside a list, and we can get the data. So the way I do it, what I'll do, I have an idea, is HTTPS IMDb, because imdb.com. all right, and now I want, so we have many links, so I'll only pick with which we have imdb.com/ after HTTPS, and I'm going to strip these URLs. So these are in the form of the strings in the list, enclosed within a list. So we are going to take them by using the title and TT, and we are going to feed. So what I'll do here, I'll say plus a x dot strip. All right, so the code might seem confusing, I'll explain you. So x dot strip for x, so this is the way we do the list comprehension, for x in URLs. Okay, for x in URLs. So if, okay, if x is not none, and we don't want it to be a none. Okay, so because if we have any none thing, it is going to break up. So for that, we are going to say x if is not none, and x dot starts with, I'm going to feed, I'll say title / TT. All right, so this is going to give me all of these links, title / TT, title / TT, title / TT. And now let us just check this. So the way I do it, I'll just print the URLs. All right, URLs. I'll say CLS, and I'll print, and I have it. So now I have them in the form of https imdb.com title, and then I have the entire thing. So this is the way it works, and I cannot pass this, so I'll have to append this. So what I'll do is I'll make a new variable. So I'll say all links, not all links, I'll say all movies is equal to list. Okay, so this data can be appended into this. So we have to actually iterate now. So I'll say for links in URLs, I want to append. All right, so I'll say all movies dot append, and I'm going to feed it links. All right, and now I'll just print all movies. So I'll say all underscore movies. Okay, and now let me run it, and I have it. But we have a hitch over here, is this is also known as 169858. This is also known as 169858. This is 46. This is 46. So these links are actually replicating. We don't want that. Okay, we want to avoid that. So I want to make a condition over here that if links, okay, so I want to check if links are not present inside the all movies, then only I'm going to append them, because it is going to take the link associated earlier, and then it is going to try to push it in each and every single iteration. So that list comprehension has created links, but we are actually now extracting from that list comprehension. So that is giving me one comprehension after followed by one another. So I'll say if links is not in, or yeah, this seems fine. Okay, so is not in all movies, not in. Okay, so I can say not in like this. Okay, I don't require is, and I'm going to push this aside. And now let us check is. Okay, so if links not in all movies, then only they are going to get appended, otherwise it won't get appended. Now let us check this, and I have it. Okay, so all of the links are now different. Okay, so after 46 we have 58, 22, 72, 79. Okay, LCCLS. Now let us move on with the further thing. So now what we have to do is we have two functions. So my idea now is I'll make a soup function which is, you know, completely dynamic in the nature. So I'll say df soup function, all right, which is going to take let's say URLs or URL, as we can say it. Okay, I'll just pass it over here, and here I'll say, okay, I'll just get rid of this, and here I'll say URL. Okay, so the URL is going to be dynamic in the nature, and later on I'm going to return the soup. So I'll say return soup. Now this soup function will be passed to this. So what I'll do over here is I'll say soup, which is the name of the variable, and I'll say soup function, and here I'll pass it my chart. Okay, I'm going to pass it this chart of all the movies. Okay, so this function is now becoming dynamic. Now whenever I create my list, this list will be iterated inside this and a single function. I'll show you how we can do that. So in order to do that, I'll say return, all right, all movies. I'm going to return all movies. Okay, I want to do that, and the way I do it, so this is going to hold my charts. Now I return all the movies. Now here I'm going to say for, okay, for I in all movies. All right, I want to perform something. So for I in all movies, now this I holds each and every single link which I'm going to append using the soup. So I'll say soup is equal to soup function, and it is going to take I. So the way we do it, I'll say all movies, which is the name of the variable I'm making, followed by all links, which is my function. Okay, so I return this variable over here with all links, and then I iterate it over a for loop where my soup is going to take each and every single link present in this list. So first it is going to take chart from all of these links, then it is going to take every single link that we have. So let's say 1, 2, 3 and so on, and then it is going to append us. So it is going to separate and then pass it over here, and now this entire thing is going to come over here. All right, this is the way it works, and now I can actually test it. So I'll just select it for, let's say, first 5, because we have 250 values in that, and that is very time consuming procedure. So the way we do it, what I'll do is I'm going to paste this entire thing in a form of data, and I'm going to return that data. All right, so I'll say data is equal to, all right, so this data is going to take let's say movie name. All right, so I'm going to feed it in a form of JSON. So I'll say movie name. Later on I'll say movie image. Okay, movie underscore image. I'll say movie image. Then I'll move on with the genre. So I'll say movie genre. I'm going to enclose like this, followed by movie genre. All right, let me just improve the spacing. Okay, and finally we have the movie director. All right, so this will be also enclosed like this, and movie director, and we have the data. All right, and now I'm going to return that data. So I'll say data, but that is also not sufficient, I would actually tell you, because we are going to require a list in order to enclose all of this. So I'll say data list. All right, data list is equal to list, and I'm going to append this entire thing to it. So here I'll say data list dot append, which is going to take my data. All right, and here I'll say return data list, return data list. And now I can just uncomment this, and here I'll just keep title. Okay, so this is just the variable, doesn't matter. So that is basically the data list. All right, I'll just get rid of this, and I'm going to run this. Okay, so I have my data. It is not, I would say, pretty printed, but it is very much good. All right, so it has actually given me my data for let's say values from ranging from 1 to 5, and I can actually now remove this. So I'll now perform this for 250 things, and what I'll do is I'll enclose this entire thing inside JSON. All right, so I'll make a JSON, so that JSON is going to hold my entire data, which we can use it later for API calls and everything. Let's say I have the JSON with me, and if I host it somewhere, anyone can perform, let's say, get post request on it. All right, we can actually use server, we can make interesting data. You can also make your IMDb clone as a testing project. All right, you can do a lot of things. You can use this data. Even this, I'm using this data only for the teaching purposes. Okay, but this is the way the data is extracted, okay, or scrapped. So the way I do it, I'll say JSON file is equal to open, I will say, and here I'll say data.json comma w. Okay, so I have all of this covered in my Python playlist. Okay, if you have no clue what I'm doing over here, please check it. So I'll say json.dump, which is going to take 2 parameters, which is going to be my data list, and second parameter is going to be my JSON file. All right, and right before that we have to import the JSON. All right, so I'm going to say import JSON, and I have it. Okay, so one more thing that I want to do is I'll give it now an entry point. Okay, so I'll say for __ name is equal to __ main, and here I'm going to say movie information. So I'm going to call this function. Now a quick review. So first, this is actually going to iterate through, let's say, a list of 250 things. So that is going to take quite a long time. I'll say CLS over here, and I'll just run this thing and explain you entire thing. Okay, so it is going to take quite a while, but what really is happening over here? So first I make a soup function, which is dynamic in the nature. Okay, so which accepts URL and makes the soup object. Then we have all links, which is actually taking the chart of the top 250 links. So these 250 links are 250 top movies, which we are extracting, keeping in the URL, then passing a list comprehension in order to strip the thing where we have only the movie links, and then a for loop, which is going to iterate through all of the URLs and give us all movies named list. So this all movies has the list of all the top 250 movies. So it is basically this list. All right, so it is the link of all of those movies. Later on, I'm making a new function which is known as movie information, which takes all movies from this function when I return it, all links, and then I'm going to iterate through it. So I'll say for I in all movies, I'll make a soup function and pass that soup function with I. So this I basically in nature is a link. So from list, I'm taking out the link, passing that link to my soup function. All right, so I have now my soup object, this soup object for this function. These are all, I would say, quite different from each other. Okay, they don't have anything in common. Please understand this. These soup functions are very, very different and very, very dynamic in nature. So I can even change the name although, but I have soup over here, so I'll have to change it many times. So I'm not just doing that. After that, I'm passing it the title. I'm extracting the title, that is my movie name, the movie's image, the genre, and the movie's director. Then I'm making a dictionary, all right, in which I'm going to feed it in the form of data in the key and element paired value. All right, and later on I'm appending it into a list, which list I'll be passing in a JSON file. So this is going to give us the JSON file. Now let us check where it has came running. So it has 250 links. It is going to take quite a while for processing. So I'll fast forward the video and I'll show you the output. All right, so finally, after waiting for a long period of time, we have it. Okay, so I have fast forwarded the video. Okay, so that I don't have to waste your time. And now when I click over here and I check data.json, I have all of my data. All right, and I can also format it in a good manner. All right, and now if I scroll up, it has all the 250 movies. So the first one is the Shawshank Redemption, as usual. then The Godfather, Godfather Part 2, Dark Knight, 12 Angry Men, in the similar order. Alright, and you can experiment with this a lot. There are no limitations, so you can actually scrape all of these movies, and there are practically a lot of features. Okay, so you can actually try this, and I'm not trying to do anything with the IMDb data. Okay, so this is just for the showcasing purposes, that I wanted to show you how you can actually work with the data, how you can scrape the data. That was my goal in this tutorial. Okay, you can do it. There are many IMDb datasets also available out there, but this is the way the scraping is done, and it is a very, I would say, integral part when it comes to data engineering. Data gathering and data collection mechanisms use scraping a lot, and if you're very good at that, it is going to be a very important part of your data science journey, because data science is not just about applying models and taking out inferences and doing whatnot. Okay, it is about data gathering, data collection mechanisms, feature scaling, feature engineering. There are a lot of things involved in this, and I actually wanted to cover the web scraping portion because I knew that I was also lacking behind while teaching these things. I'm applying a lot of things like this in my professional work, but I haven't made any tutorial so far now on web scraping this deep. That is the reason I took a small project with which I can show you how you can scrape the data. So I hope you might have learned something or the other, and this entire project will be available to you in the description box below. So it is a GitHub link, you can click and have the entire project. So this is it for this tutorial, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do subscribe and click on the bell icon so that you don't miss out on any of the updates. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.